While in Des Moines, we spoke with Republican Governor Terry Brandstad inside the Iowa State Capitol.
Why the draw for candidates here in Iowa and Des Moines?
Well, we're first in the nation in precinct caucuses, so this is where it all starts. Iowans take their civic responsibility very seriously. They're very interested in meeting the candidates and asking them questions, finding out where they stand. And, you know, actually Jimmy Carter, I think, started it when he launched his campaign, an unknown former governor of Georgia, and he came in second to undecided. That launched his campaign for president of the United States, and many a candidate has come to Iowa thinking, well, this is where it can be done.
What would surprise others about Iowa voters and their involvement in politics?
Well, I think people are surprised that here, retail politics really matters. It's not about who's got the most money or the best TV ads. It's who can do the best job of relating to people and answering their questions and being available to people all over the state. So my advice to potential candidates is come to Iowa often, go to all 99 counties, and really honestly show people what you stand for. And that can make a real difference, and it's happened again and again in this state.
Why are the voters, Iowa voters, different? What makes them different?
I think Iowa voters take their responsibility very seriously. We have a relatively high number of people that are registered to vote, and a high percentage of them show up to vote and participate. And they, they're honest, they're hardworking, they're caring people, and they treat others with respect and dignity. And I think it's a great place to start the presidential selection process because of the kind of people we have in the state of Iowa.
Can you describe for us the political makeup of the state?
We're about as purple as it can be. I mean, we're a very divided state politically. We have two Democratic representatives and two Republican representatives. We have one Democratic senator, one Republican senator. Well, I was governor for a long time, but then for 16 years, and then we had 12 years where we had Democrats as governor. Our legislature's gone back and forth between Republicans and Democrats. We have a very fair system of reapportioning our legislature in congressional districts. It's done by the Nonpartisan Legislative Service Bureau, and then the legislature has to vote it up or down. The result is we have very competitive districts, and the state of Iowa oftentimes will go different than maybe the nation in terms of who we choose, just because Iowa voters are very independent, and they're very thoughtful, and they choose the one they think best represents them.
You've just been, you re-elected in 2010. Can you kind of give us a history of your role or your involvement in politics, and is it different this time?
It is. The difference is social media. When I was governor before, Facebook didn't exist, and yet this time, when I came back and ran again in 2010, a couple of young men who were Drake Law students started a movement on Facebook to draft me to run for governor again. They weren't old enough to vote, and Facebook didn't exist. And yet they convinced me, they got 10,000 people to sign up. I convinced me of that many young people that couldn't vote when I was governor before think I should come back to lead the state's revitalization, then maybe I ought to do it. And I'm so proud that I did. We've had great success. We got the state's financial house in order. We've been able to reduce the property tax burden and reform education. And so we now have the 7th lowest unemployment in the country. I think we have things going right. I'm up for re-election in 2014, and I'm running for re-election because we're not done yet. The lieutenant governor and I have big plans for an even brighter future in Iowa.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about Iowa?
Well, I think a lot of people think it's agriculture like it was in the 1950s. Today it's a much more sophisticated situation. And it's not just agriculture. It's all of these other things that we have going for it. It's the companies like Facebook and Microsoft and Google. It's the insurance and financial services. But it's also what we're adding to agriculture. So today, we're not just shipping out corn and soybeans. It's biofuels, it's pharmaceuticals, nutraceuticals, as well as food and feed to feed and to provide for a hungry world.
What role has Iowa played in developing agricultural industry here?
Well, we're the heart of agriculture. Iowa is the leading corn producing state, the leading soybean producing state. We're the leading pork producing state. We're the leading egg producing state. Our cattle numbers are increasing, and we've developed new products like renewable fuels, ethanol, biodiesel. We're a leader in wind energy. Because of Iowa State University and because of the advances that we've seen in agriculture, I think Iowa's going to continue to be a very key leader. We have record enrollment at Iowa State University. We have record enrollment in agriculture and a lot of great jobs coming out of it.
What about renewable energy? Talk to us a little bit
Iowa's a
about
leader in renewable energy. We're real proud of that. I've been a strong supporter of ethanol back when we used to call it gasohol in the 1970s. And now we produce more renewable fuel in Iowa than we consume in gasoline. We have 42 ethanol plants. We have 12 biodiesel plants. We have 2 cellulosic ethanol plants under construction. We have companies like DuPont Pioneer that's looking at something called biobutanol, which would be the next phase in terms of renewable fuels. I think that we've made a big difference in reducing our dependency on foreign oil and making America more competitive. And we're very excited about the future. We're very concerned about what's happening with the EPA wanting to reduce the renewable fuel standard, because that has helped us grow renewable fuels and reduce our dependency on foreign oil. We think the EPA should continue to follow the law and continue to expand the use of biofuels in this country. It's been good for America, it's been good for agriculture, and it's created a lot of good jobs in this state.
What problems, if any, do you see?
Well, there's always challenges out there. One of our biggest problems is finding enough people with the right skill set to meet the jobs that are being created in this state. So this year we passed something we call Home Base Iowa, because we know there's federal cutbacks in the military and there's a lot of talented people. So we're saying we're eliminating the tax on military retirement. We're offering in-state tuition to all these military people that are leaving the military and their spouses and dependents, and we're matching them up with good jobs and careers in Iowa if they will come to Iowa. So that's one of our initiatives. We also have something called Skilled Iowa to try to upgrade the skills of Iowans who don't have the skills to meet the jobs that are available in advanced manufacturing today. There's a company called American College Testing in Iowa City that offers the National Career Readiness Certificate. So we're encouraging all of our high schools to offer that, our community colleges, and we're offering it free of charge for anybody that wants to assess their own skills and see if they can upgrade their skills so that they can meet the job requirements that are there in the workplace today. Much different manufacturing environment today than it was, say, 20 or 30 years ago.
Where do you see Iowa going in the future?
I think the future looks very bright for Iowa. We've got our financial house in order. We're reducing taxes and we're attracting good paying jobs. We're working to revitalize our education with the goal of being the #1 state in America in student achievement. We also want to be the healthiest state in the country. I'm trying to lead by example. I lost enough weight to wear my Army uniform when I signed the Home Base Iowa bill on Memorial Day in the Gold Star Museum at Camp Dodge. And so we're trying to do all we can to really lead the way in knowing we want to be healthy, we want to be happy, we want to have really good jobs, and we want people to feel welcome in the great state of Iowa.